There is no substitute for putting in the time to master your craft. The landscape paintings for the movies, and in those hours you can often discover your true originality and your niche. You have to find out who you really are. You have to find out what you've really got. You have to determine what it is that God's given you. What are your endowments? What are your gifts? What are your talents? And that only comes through spending time with them and learning how to develop them. Number 5, sometimes you have to make, quote, risky moves in your life. Now, risky is a very interesting word because that means different things to different people. Some people think that risky means that you go off the path of what everybody says you should do. Go to school, work hard, get good grades, get a good job, keep your nose clean, work your way up through the corporation, take the safe path, make sure you can hold down a good pay, get good benefits, and try to find a place that has a retirement plan. Some think that's more risky than following your true calling or your true gift. Some say that playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do now in our world in these times. That safe is the new risky. And in this case, Thomas Kinkade and his buddy at the Art Design Center decided that they would kind of leave the path of formalized training and credentials, and they'd go out on their own and be hobos. And that desperation of that decision led them into the Hollywood situation where they had to paint all those backdrops and develop all those hours that led them to mastery. But there is a big difference between risky and reckless. Risky and reckless. When you make a gutsy decision, a bold move that's aligned with your principles and your dreams, and the highest calling you feel, the deepest nudge you can feel for a direction in your life, when you make a bold move in that direction, it's not risky at all. What's risky, what most people should instead say reckless, is when you do something that doesn't follow that true voice, that doesn't come from within, that doesn't really line up with what God has built you to do. When you do something that everybody else tells you you're supposed to, you go down some path everybody else programs you to go down. That's reckless. Number 6, it takes a team to scale up. Art is perhaps one of the most singular activities you could ever imagine. Thomas Kinkade didn't need any help making his masterpieces. No one else showed up at that easel to paint any portion of those original masterpieces. It's singular. He labored away almost all by himself in that little cottage, making those paintings, 15 a year, 300 hours each, 50 layers of paint by himself. It would be almost one of the most extreme examples where you don't need a team. You just need an easel and a little stool and some paints and a brush. But yet part of Kinkade's success was that he did assemble a team. He did find some very talented, ambitious people with which he bonded, and they had common ideas, and they were very creative together, and they had kind of mastermind sessions, and they would feed off each other's creativity and brilliance and direction. And that team allowed a mere artist who could only make one painting at a time, who could only make a maximum of 15 a year, allowed him to scale up into an enormous enterprise that still boggles the imagination. So it does take a team. Even in one of the most singular activities in the world, art, it still takes a team. And Tom knew that when he found Rick Barnett and Ken Rosh. Number 7, discover who your real customer is. Specifically, find out why you please them and keep doing it.